Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Novelita Chandra Kirana and my partner is Kesia Oktaviani. Here's we want to read our summary with John Steinbeck's novella entitled Of Mice and Men. This novella implies loneliness. In this story, Sarah of Solitude, there are two adult men. They want to go to Rennes, but unfortunately they lost. They see a river named Salinas River. This adult named Lenny Small and George, who have different personalities and body shapes. Lenny, who is tall, big, a huge man, shapeless of face, with large, pale eyes, with wide, sloping shoulders, and he walked heavily, dragging his feet a little the way a bear drags his paws, and always wears denim outwear. But he has mental problems. While George has a body that is shorter than Lenny, but he has a normal personality like people in general. Small and quick, dark of face, with restless eyes and sharp, also strong features. The two of them lost their connections and worked together around a farm in California to get a job, and fulfilled their dream of buying or purchasing a farm together. However, because Lenny, who has mental problem, cannot live without depending on George at that time. Of course, George is Lenny's protector. Whereas before, George's life was very calm before he takes care of Lenny, who really likes to touch things with soft textures without knowing what he touches is. Like when George realizes something in Lenny's pocket that turns out to be a dead mouse. Lenny just wants to play, but accidentally he killed the mouse. Lenny likes rabbits for him to keep because of their soft fur. But there is also a time when Lenny touched a woman's dress accidentally because the textures of the dress was soft. Unwanted thing happens when the woman realizes and yells at him. Because of that scream, Lenny panics and accidentally grabs the woman's dress. Confused, woman who thinks Lenny is going to rape her because of the aggressive act she experienced. But quickly, George grabs Lenny's hand and took him away so that something else that is unwanted not happen. Long story short, they have found a house that has drums and rabbits in it. As we know, Lenny really likes rabbits, and George allowed Lenny to see the rabbit. When that is enough, they continue on and arrived at the farm where they would work. They meet the boss from the farm. The boss explained what they should do in this job is moving sacks of barley to the truck on a regular basis. When they finish a conversation, the boss came out of the room and an old man with his dog came into the room. The man was named Candy. Not long after, Curly came into the room. He is the son of the boss of the farm. Curly talks to George but not Lenny, because Curly does not like someone like Lenny with his personality and big shapes of his body.
Suddenly, a woman with a red dress enters the room. She is Curly's beautiful wife. Even though she already has a husband, the wife still likes men who are big and tall. When she sees Lenny, his wife Curly flutters and starts clenching at the lyrics. In the Sunday afternoon at barn, when Lenny is playing with the puppy suddenly attacks Lenny, and Lenny accidentally buries the puppy. Then the puppy is unexpectedly dead. Suddenly, Curly's wife arrives, and Lenny immediately hides the puppy carcass that he has killed accidentally in the haystack in front of her. Curly's wife asks him why he is so nervous and what has happened. The Lenny dodges it, but Curly's wife pursues him to tell the truth. And to be honest, Lenny, if he had accidentally fended the puppy to die, because he likes to touch something that has smooth texture, Curly's wife took the initiative to invite Lenny to touch her hair, because hair is one of those finely textured things. However, Lenny pulls Curly's wife's hair too hard, and she gets mad and jerks her hair too. But because Lenny is surprised and afraid that George would scold him, Lenny holds Curly's wife's mouth so he didn't scream, and ends up clutching her mouth so that she accidentally breaks her neck. He did it because he shocks and panics. Because of that, Lenny remember George had said if Lenny, did something stupid again, immediately go to the pond and hide. After the tragic incident, Curly, who never finds his wife, is shocked by his discovered with Candy, who found his wife dead on a pile of straw. He tells to Curly and George. The suspect is Lenny. George suggests Candy and Curly go to pond. He is sure that Lenny is there, hide in the pond. Lenny, afraid and hallucinating his auntie and a big rabbit. They say that George does not help him or Lenny. Sadness continued to surround Lenny until George came to calm Lenny. Then Lenny also asked about the farm that they would have. When imagine it, George shoots Lenny's head in the back to death. Then came Curly and Candy. They see that Lenny has died, and they thanked George. After that, George limps helpless and regretted. Thank you for your attention, and if there's something mistakes or wrong words, we are begging sorry and thank you. See you.